Hi, welcome. So for today's class, our focus is balance using just body weight. So we're going to start lying down on our back, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Start with some breathing. You can have your hands wrapped around your rib cage, fingers in the front, thumbs in the back. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, expel all the air from your lungs. Feel your waist start to narrow in. Another deep breath. And exhale, feel those front ribs knit closer in together. We're going to keep them knitted and breathe into the sides and back of our ribs. And exhale, wrapping that waist further in. Beautiful. We've got these last two breaths. Each inhale going further towards the back of your ribs and into your thumbs. Each exhale wraps your waist further in like you're being tied into a corset. And after that last breath, you can have your arms long beside you on the mat. Make sure that you've got your feet about sits bone distance apart so you can fit your fists between them. Take a deep inhale into your belly, fill it up with air. And exhale, belly button starts to sink in towards your spine. You feel those low abs start to turn on. Another deep breath. And exhale, belly button draws deeper in towards your spine, your pelvis tucks, pressing that low back down against the mat. Inhale to rock right back into neutral. And on this next exhale, we're going to start going into your bridges. Draw your belly button in, curl your pubic bone towards your face, your low back presses down, and then you press into your heels, lifting your tailbone, and each vertebrae going up one at a time follows. Inhale at the top, keep your glutes squeezed, keep that pelvis tucked, and exhale to melt all the way back down. Creating this wave-like motion with your spine, I want you to feel that you're trying to peel your spine off like a sticker. Nice and slow, making sure that you don't leave any of that gluey, white, papery residue behind. We're going to do 6 more, going at your own pace, but always making sure that you're focusing on the tuck of your pelvis rather than the height of your bridge. You want to keep all the work in the back of your legs, especially your hamstrings, butt, and glutes. Last 4 here. In 2, we're going to hold that bridge at the top, again as high as feels good for you while focusing on the tuck. And you're going to hold that bridge up on this next one. Beautiful. Feel your knees trying to reach long and over your toes, so you're finding length in the front of your hips, finding more engagement in the back of your legs. And we're going to start with our hinges. So stick your butt 2 inches out towards the mat. And then re-tuck that pelvis to lift up. Butt sticks out. And then tucks to lift. For 8. And 7. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the bridge up on this last one. Again, really tucking that pelvis. I want you to place all the weight into your left heel, marching your right leg up to tabletop. And then bring it down. Switching sides. Left leg marches up and down. While we're doing these single leg marches, make sure that your pelvis stays squared off. So both hips are at the same height. It's really easy to let your hip sink down when you lift your leg up. I want you to feel that that knee is reaching up and slightly forward, helping you engage still the back of your leg and your obliques to keep that hip lifted. We're going to do 4 more to each side. Last 2 to each side. And next thing, you have your right leg up. I want you to hold it there. Straighten your leg out. Without letting your hips lower here, you're going to lower your leg and lift. Leg lowers and lifts. Feel like someone's pulling that right heel away from you, helping you keep your right waist long so that your hip isn't hiking up into your rib cage. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes back to tabletop, and then you bring that right leg down. Switching sides. Left leg comes up, keep it lifted, you're going to straighten it out, and then lower your left leg down and up. Keeping your hips squared off, keeping that pelvis lightly tucked, really pressing that right heel down into the mat. 4, 5. Reaching your left leg long so your left waist doesn't crunch in. 4, 3, 2. After that last one, bring your left leg back to tabletop, march it down, and then you can melt all the way back down. Nice deep breath. You can bring your knees into your chest. Just rock from side to side. Excellent. From here, set yourself back up so you're in a neutral spine. You've got a little bit of space between your low back and the mat. Bring your right leg into tabletop. Left leg comes up to meet it. Hold your legs in tabletop here. Make sure your knees are just over your hips. They're not coming in towards your chest. If your hip flexors are feeling a little cranky today, you can always do a floppy tabletop. Your hands will come right behind your head. Elbows will be in the corners of your eyes. And as you exhale, curl up. Inhale to rest your head back down. Feel like you're trying to reach your nose up and over your knees. So we're not just crunching your chin down into your chest. Beautiful. You've got your head heavy in your hands. Your elbows are reaching long and forward so that we're creating this support system for your head and neck through your arms and core. 4, 5. You're going to keep it up in 4. 2. And hold your chest up in this last one. Keep your chest steady. Still feel your nose reaching up and over. We're going to go for little pelvic tucks. So as you exhale, press your low back down towards the mat. Inhale to rock back into neutral. As your pelvis rocks, don't let your knees come in towards your chest. We want to get those low abs and pelvic floor muscles to create the movement. Exhale. release. Going here for 5. Don't let your head sink back here. Keep that chest lifted for 3. And after that last one, you can bring your legs down, bring your head down for a nice deep breath. Excellent. You can start with your arms long beside you for this one. Bring your right leg into tabletop, left leg right back up to meet it. Again, knees just over your hips. You're holding that 90-degree bend of your knees and going for single leg toe taps. One leg at a time. And then here, just finding the range of motion that feels best for you. You don't have to tap your toes all the way down. You want to focus on keeping your core, especially those low abs, in control of the movement, avoiding your low back from activating. So if you feel your low back turn on, feel it start to pinch, make the range of motion a little bit smaller. And if this feels good for you, can you lift your chest and keep it up as you go for the single leg toe taps? And if you still want to add a little extra spice in here, as your right foot goes down, can you lower your chest? Lift as your right knee comes back in. Then switch. Chest lowers, left leg taps, and then both lift together. For 5 more to each side. Final set. And after that last one, you can bring your knees into your chest. Again, rock from the side to side in a nice low back release. Letting those abs relax for a second. Reach your legs long. Your arms are going to reach overhead for the inhale. And as you exhale, arms lower, chin gently taps. And you're rolling all the way up to sitting. And once we're here, you're gonna go for a little bit of a tricep dip in the control back position. So you're gonna have your fingertips pointing in towards you, especially towards your butt. You can have your legs long if you want to make it more challenging, or have your knees bent. Once you have your feet in position, you're going to press into those hands. Nice long line here if you've got those legs extended. And you're going to bend your elbows back to dip and lift. We're going to do 8 of these. Nice and steady. Try to keep those elbows narrowed by your waist. 4, 5. 3. 2. Final one. And bring that butt down. We're going to come all the way up to standing. We're going to go for a sumo squat here. So I want you to have your feet a little bit wider than your hips, but your heels are pointing in, toes are pointing out, so we're finding an external rotation from your thighs. Make sure here that when you bend your knees, they're in line with your second and third toes. That's going to make sure that you're actually rotating from that thigh bone instead of just from your knees or your ankles. So once you're in position here, you can start with your hands on your hips, sinking down, and pressing up. Beautiful. So here you want to make sure you're pressing into your heels as you lift. So we're using hamstrings, glutes, and a bit of inner thighs for this work. And then once you straighten your legs, squeeze your butt at the top. Beautiful here. Going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Holding at the bottom on this last one. Tiny pulses. You're singing down an inch and up an inch. Down an inch and up for 8. Keeping the pelvis slightly tucked so we're not overextending in your low back. For 4, 3, 2. After this last one, stand all the way up. You're going to place the weight into that left foot. Pulse that right leg up. Bring it down. Squat. Then switch sides. Pulsing that left leg up. Back. Squat. And switch. Really nice. We're going to do 8 more to each side. Excellent. 5 more to each side. Last 2 to each side. And next time that you're on your left leg, that right leg is up. Just do a few lifts and lowers here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold on this last one, tiny pulses, up an inch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Squat. We're switching sides. That lift and lower with your left leg for 8, 6. Last 4. 2. And hold in this last one. Pulses up an inch, up an inch. Beautiful. For 5, 3, 1. And come back to center. Squat. Last 6. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to come on to our bird dog here. So come down to all 4. Got your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees are just underneath your hips. Taking a nice deep breath here. And we're going to go for our bird dog. So you're going to lift your right arm and left leg. Feel like someone's pulling your fingertips and heel away from each other, creating length in your spine. You're pressing into that left hand to lift your chest. Draw those low abs in so your core is also engaged here for support. And then bring that arm and leg down, switching sides. Same thing, arm and leg reaching long, pressing into your right hand, lifting your chest away, drawing those low abs in, and switch. You want to go nice and slow so you minimize any shift happening as you switch from side to side. Also making sure that when you lift your arm, you don't let your shoulder kind of creep up towards your ear. You're keeping your shoulder blades down your back so your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. We're going to do 5 more to each side. Three more to each side. Thinking about length, not height. And next time that you reach your right arm and left leg long, hold it there. Sweep that arm and leg an inch out and in, mimicking a windshield wiper motion. Maintaining your chest super centered and steady for 5, 4, 3, 1, and lower, switching sides. Left arm, right leg are long, sweeping out an inch and back in. 4, 5, 3, and after that last one, excellent. You're going to bring them down, nice deep breath. From here, carefully coming back all the way up to standing, we're going to go for some curtsy lunges. So start with your feet about hip width apart. You're going to cross your right leg behind your left and then come up. Then switch. And then come up. Beautiful. If it feels good for you and you want a little extra challenge, you can tap your back knee down against the floor. Just a little baby tap. This is really targeting your butt muscle, but also a lot of your side hip muscles. All of those are super important for you to find balance in your daily movements as well as in any exercises that you partake in. Looking good. We're going to do 4 more to each side, and then we're going to start adding a little bit of extra oblique work in. Beautiful. Last 2 to each side. Final set. Come all the way up. So we're going to start with just one side. We're going to be doing a kind of lateral crunch going into your curtsy lunge. We're going to do 8 per side. So right hand behind your head. You're going to bring your right elbow and right knee up towards each other, really getting your obliques engaged. And then reach that right leg back. Stand, crunch, and then curtsy lunge. 4, 6. And 4. Last 2. And after that last one, switching sides. Left hand behind your head, left knee to left elbow, and then left leg behind your right. 4, 6. And 4. 2. And after that last one, carefully coming all the way up, coming right back down onto all 4s. We're going to be doing that same bird dog exercise, as adding a little extra work for your abs. So we're going to add a knee hover. You're going to tuck your toes on the mat. Nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, drawing those low abs up and in towards your spine and hovering your knees an inch off. Beautiful. Holding it here just for 10 seconds. You're lifting your chest away by pressing into your hands. And gently bring your knees back down. Nice deep breath. Beautiful. And from here, hover. You're going to hold that hover. Reach your right arm long, then bring it down. Left arm long, bring it down. Right leg long, and then left leg long. So you can alternate here, single limb at a time. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, can you reach your opposite arm and opposite leg simultaneously? For 5 more to each side. Three. Still thinking about length rather than height. Hold it on this last one. Really nice. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, beautiful. Bring it down. Ooh, nice deep breath. That was a little extra shoulder work in there as well. And come all the way back up to standing. So we're going to go for a single leg RDL. For this one, I want you to start with your left foot planted on the mat. Stand nice and tall. Feel like someone's pulling this thread connected to the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And you're going to just bring your right knee up. Have it in line with your hip. Now this feels pretty easy. Maybe. I want you to close your eyes here for a moment and see if that changes anything. Do you feel like suddenly you're a lot more wobbly than you just were? It's because eyesight is super important for maintaining balance. Here, keep your gaze focused in one location. All you're going to do is gently straighten your right leg back. Let your gaze slowly follow down to the mat as you hinge your chest forward. And then carefully bring it back up. Keeping in mind that if you really want to make this super challenging, with your eyes closed, just to add a little extra fun there. Nice and steady. And next time you sweep your right knee forward, if it feels good for you, can you add a heel lift with that left heel? Lower and then hinge. Four, 5. 3. 2. And on this last one, you're going to hold that hinge. Nice deep breath. Finding your balance. Reach that right leg super long. You're going to reach your arms in front of you. And you're going to open them out to a T and then sweep them down towards your hips. Beautiful here. So imagine that you're gliding your arms over a tabletop for 5. 4, 3. 2. On this next one, keep your arm open in a T. Come all the way up to standing. Take a nice deep breath. We still got an extra variation here on this left side. Beautiful. So you're going to hold that right leg back up in that bent tabletop position. Hinge, sending that right leg back, chest forward. coming up, and you're going to laterally bend to the right side. So you hinge your chest forward, send that right leg back. When that right knee comes forward, bending to the right and center. Really challenging your balance as you do that. We're going to do just 5 more here. Keep the movement as small as you need to and as slow as you need to. Last 3. And after this last one, coming right back to center, send your right foot back. You're going to bend your knee, bring your right hand down, turn to the side, so you're in a side plank. Beautiful. If you prefer, you can always have your forearm down on the mat instead. And then from here, you're going to thread a needle and pike your hips up. Coming right back out into that side plank. Pike as you thread a needle. 4, 5. And 3. Last one. Coming back out into that side plank. Adjust your hand if you need to here. You're going to hold that left arm up toward the ceiling. You're going to lift your left leg and bring it down. Left leg lifts and lowers. If it feels better for you, you can always do a kneeling side plank for this, still adding that leg lift. 4, 4. Last 2. Hold that leg lifted for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Coming back down and up to standing. So we're going to do that whole single leg RDL, but on the right side. So here now your right foot is going to stay planted on the mat. Start with your left knee. Hold it here. Once more, I want you to close your eyes. See how closing your eyes kind of changes the balance that you had. And I want you to take a moment here to feel how different it is from side to side. Maybe you find that balancing on your right side with your eyes closed is a little easier than with your left, or vice versa. Good. You can open your eyes once more. And from here, we're going to go for that hinge, reaching that left leg back. Chest goes forward as your knee bends, and then stand. Sweeping that left knee forward. Beautiful. And if this feels good, we're going to start adding that heel lift with your right foot. When your left knee sweeps forward, lift that right heel, lower with control, and then hinge. 4, 5. Three, last one. You're going to hold that hinge. Reach your arms long in front, opening them out to a T, sweeping them down by your hips, and then reaching them back up. for 4, 2, and after that last one, hold your arms out in a T, coming right back to center. Beautiful. We're going to add that side bend here once more. Hold your arms out in a T. You're going to reach that left leg back, hinging your chest forward. And then as that left knee sweeps back up, you're going to side bend over to the left. Center. And then hinge. Your butt should be on fire, especially that right side right now. Whew, I know mine is. We're going to do just 5 more, going at your own pace. Last 3. And after this last one, you can carefully come all the way back up. Beautiful. Pound that butt out if you need to. Send your left foot back. Bend that right knee. So you're lunging down. I want you to bring your left hand down onto the mat. Turning so you're in that side plank position. And adjust here if you need to. You can have your feet staggered for a bit more of a supportive stance, or feet stacked if you want more of a challenge. Forearm down if your wrists are feeling sensitive. And you're going to thread a needle, piking your hips up. Coming right back to neutral as your arm comes up to the ceiling. For 6. 3. And after that last one, you want to kind of have your feet stacked for this one. I find that it's easier in that position. You're holding your side plank. All you're going to do is lift that right leg up and lower it down. Again, feel free to go for a kneeling side plank and still adding that leg lift if having that full side plank does not feel good. Beautiful. 4, 5. 3. Hold it up on this last one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully come all the way down. Whew, nice deep breath. You're going to lie down on your back once more. Finding that neutral spine. Legs into tabletop. And your arms straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to go for our dead bug here. Have a just baby tuck of your pelvis so we're not overarching that low back. You're going to reach your right arm back with your left leg. And then switch. So this is kind of the same movement we were doing when we were doing that bird dog position on all 4s. But now we're really targeting a bit more the slings in the anterior part of your body, especially in that core. That just helps make sure that we're strengthening your obliques, which helps keep your core from over-rotating and helps protect your low back. We're going to do 5 more to each side, keeping those low abs drawing deep in towards your spine. For 3, 2, this next one with your right arm and left leg long. Same abduction movement here. They open an inch out and in. Out and in. 4, 6. 4. 2. And come back to center, switching sides. Left arm, right leg. Open out an inch. Out an inch. Keep those labs drawing deep into your spine. 4, 4. 2. And now for that last one, bring it in, take a breath here. We got one last variation and then one final plank. So have your arms straight up to the ceiling, legs in tabletop. This time you're going to send both arms and both legs out and then draw them back in. Reaching both arms and legs out and back in. The lower your legs go, the more challenging it'll be for your abs. Just make sure that you don't go so low that you start to feel that low back pinch. 4, 6. 4. 2. Hold it on this last one. We're holding it for 10 seconds. Reaching your arms and legs long away from each other. 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring your knees into your chest here. You can rock from side to side. And we're going to go for our last exercise here. It's a plank. So I want you to stand on all fours once more, making sure you have your hands underneath your shoulders to begin. Reach your right leg long and back. Left leg long and back. We're finding that nice plank position here. So you've got those low abs drawing up into your spine, pelvis lightly tucked. A long line from the crown of your head all the way through to your heels. Feel like your heels are reaching long and back. We're going to go for a little arm reach here. So right arm forward, then left, then bring them back underneath your shoulders. Beautiful. 5 more to each side. Last 2. Take a breath here for a second. So for this last one, we've kind of been building up to this the entire class. It really requires that you use your obliques, your serratus, your glutes, your balance, everything that you've got. You're going to come back onto all fours. Reach your left leg up and long. And reach your right arm up and long. And we're going to hold it here for 10 seconds. Again, feeling like someone's pulling your fingertips and toes away from each other. 4, 5, 3, 2, and bring it down. Switching sides. Right leg is lifted and long. Left arm is lifted and long. Holding for 10 seconds. 5, 3, 1. Bring it down. And child's pose. Whew, that was really good. That was really hard. Nice deep breath. And carefully come to kneeling. You're going to cross your right arm over that left, cross your right arm over your chest, the left side. I can't think anymore. I can't speak. Nice deep breath here, finding a nice stretch in your deltoids. It did do a lot of work today, those shoulders. And switching sides. Beautiful. Carefully come up to standing. You're going to interlace your hands behind your back. You're going to reach your arms long, finding a nice stretch in the front of your shoulders and your pecs. And bending your knees, leaning forward, getting a little extra stretch there. Come all the way up. We're gonna go for kind of the standing figure 4 stretch. If this does not feel good, you can always lie down on the mat and do it lying down instead. Just cross your right ankle over that left knee. And you're gonna sit back, getting a stretch on the right side of your hip and that right butt. Coming up, switching sides. Beautiful. Carefully coming all the way up. Final thing here, we're going to go for some roll downs. So you're going to exhale, tuck your chin, roll all the way down. Holding it down here as low as feels good for you. If you're like me and not very flexible, this is kind of as far as you go. If you can bring your hands down to the floor, feel free to do so. Just going to sway from side to side. Feel free to hold on to your elbows if you prefer. Head is relaxed, dangling down towards the floor, so you're finding length in the back of your neck and the base of your skull. Hold it in the center. Relax your arms if you're holding onto your elbows. Gently nod your head yes. And then shake no. Hold it steady in the center. You're going to soften your knees as you inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck that pelvis, rolling all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to come up. You can roll your shoulders back to the top, shake it all off, and we are done.